our wives drank a lot of coffee.
They did.
Together.
Yeah.
They did even before you found out you lived close, though, right?
Oh, yes. They didn't. It wasn't something that they started,
right.
The relationship. And, the other thing that we're kind of excited about is that we're all on the same label, the three of us, and also we're all booked by the same booking agent. And this, the guy by the name of Freddie Caserta, a real close friend of ours, and he handles only us three. So, there seem to be so many great reasons to do the tour, and I think that the one thing that we all agree is the main reason is that we all have a heart for ministry and for getting out there and not only, giving them a great evening of entertainment and fun and great sound, great lights, great songs, all of that stuff, but, we have a heart for the kids. We really want to let God work through us so people can hear from the Lord. And there's a lot of music in the concerts, and there's a lot of ministry. And I just think it's a real well-rounded package, and we're having a great time. It's only a week old, but we are having the greatest time out there.
That's exciting to hear. Now, you gentlemen, of course, are maybe used to doing concerts on your own. It must be kind of different to be sharing the stage with one another. Do you find that to be something you compliment one another? Yeah, you're a great guy. Yeah, you're fine too.
Very definitely. It's quite a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun for you, though, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun. I think one thing that we've noticed, as you say, we all do our own concerts, and with years of doing that, you develop a certain routine and a certain way of doing it. But I've got to say that the three of us have just sat down and put this thing together, and there's absolutely no uncomfortableness about anything. We just mapped it out the way we wanted it, and we help each other with each other's set, to try and get the whole evening. We're really interested in the whole. What is the whole thing? How does it appear to people? How do they perceive it? How do they receive what we're doing? And I think that we've worked hard at it, and man, it's been really smooth. There's been no vibe at all.
Really has.
Now, some people get the impression that touring and so on is kind of a glamorous thing.
Very glamorous. Yeah.
It's not always the case, though. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into everything from, obviously, selecting songs for recording, doing the recording, the PR and all that goes along with it. It's an awful lot of work, and I don't know, what do you say to people that come up to you after the concert, they tug on your shirt sleeve and say, "Oh, I'd really like to be up on that stage, I'd really like to be sharing my songs"?
Yeah, I think you have to understand, or I have to understand, that a lot of the reasons people think it's glamorous is they see that the output of a record company whose job it is to kind of make it seem glamorous, you know. So they see very slick photos that, they see one photo and they don't realize they took 250 stupid-looking ones to get that one good one.
Yeah, right.
Okay. It gets kind of tiring even at that point.
Yeah, but as far as the glamour of the road, I think the most glamorous thing is probably that bus bunk where you
really get the rest.
You go in as a caterpillar, you come out in the morning as a butterfly.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are beautiful. I got to say that.
Oh man.
I've been accused of having a face for radio, but I don't know. We might be on par here this morning.
I know it.
That's fun. You guys know you really look great for this time of day. I know this isn't probably your prime time, or maybe your focus. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe
on this tour, no.
Not on the tour.
At home,
Yeah.
this would be great. I would have been up for several hours.
You're right. This tour definitely has turned us around. I know for me, I'm in bed normally, honestly, at like 10:30 at night. And on this tour, we've been going to bed 3, 4 in the morning just because, not because we're up eating chips all night, because that's when it comes down. That's when you're on the bus, you do whatever business things you have to do at the end of a concert. By the time it's all done, we're all sitting around there falling asleep, and we just jump in our bunks, and that's it till 11 or 12 the next day. And it's certainly not a schedule I'm proud of, but I mean, it's one that is necessary for this kind of travel. And but it's been good. I mean, the only complaint I have, and I think Morgan, we all would, is that we don't like being away from our families.
I was going to ask you about that.
We don't
how
like
that
it at
affects
all. Not at all. I don't like one day away. But we know that sometimes we have to go, and, our phone bills are high, the bills to the florist are high, and whatever other little rabbits we can pull out of the hat to keep our wives happy.
Interesting. Well, I want you, if you would, Rick, since you're holding the microphone, to tell our listeners here at FM 93.5 a little bit about the song "I'll Be Satisfied," because that's one of the tunes that we have been playing here in the recent past.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could tell us a little bit about it, we'll play that song, and we'll come back with Morgan and talk to both of you some more.
Terrific. I'll Be Satisfied came about because of, a lot of the needs that are in the world out there. And, the obvious ones sometimes are the needs of these third world kids that are hungry, that are, dying of diseases, that need an education, that need to be taken care of. But even, closer to home than that is the needs that we see right in our own backyard, in our families, at work, in our schools. There's a lot of people with problems. And I'll Be Satisfied is about not walking by one of these problems without finding out what is the cause, what's going on, and finding out how can I help. It's like the song says, we shouldn't be satisfied until every tear runs dry.
Let all the tears run dry. When all the hearts stop breaking. When all the fears just pass them This is the day when I won't just walk by. The hungry, the broken man. It's finally time I hear them when they cry. I'm no savior, but I've been saved. I gotta reach out, share a little hope along the way. Gonna lift you up, higher and higher, but it's not enough, try though I may. When all the tears run dry, when all the hearts stop breaking, when all the fears just pass them by, that's all that I ask for, all that I pray for, and the moment it's over, I'll be satisfied. Why do we say that that's just the way things are? The lonely, the empty-eyed. Why do the weary have to walk so far? I'm no hero, I may never be, but I do know what's hurting them, it's hurting me. So I'm reaching out, gotta do something, and I won't rest till they're set free. When all the tears run dry, when all the hearts stop breaking, when all the fears just pass them by, that's all that I ask for, all that I pray satisfied.
Rick Kua, and I'll be satisfied at FM 93.5, your Christian music connection for the Quad Cities. Thank you for listening this morning. We have Morgan Cryar and Rick Kua here in the studio. I have Morgan with the microphone here. How are you there, sir?
Fine.
He's waking up. He's live, alert, awake, and enthusiastic all at the same time. We've been talking a little bit about the concert tour. All the song was playing. Sorry, we weren't listening as intently maybe as we should have. But no, it's an excellent song. And we're talking a little bit about the concert. Let me just mention that it is tonight. It is in Rock Island, at Rock Island High School at 7:30. The Rock, Rhythm, and Rap Tour has come to the Quad Cities, and you need to be a part of that.
That's right.
That's right. A little
Come
plug
on
there.
out.
Actually, come on in. Correct?
In,
it's an
out.
indoor concert.
Yeah.
All right. Across the river.
That's right.
All right. Well, people over there are listening, too, so they don't have to cross.
Okay.
We won't get into that. Okay, anyway, Morgan, you have a song called The Voice of Experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, I didn't write the song. Wish I had. But when I heard the song, it really, it brought to mind some things. Well, the main thing it brought to mind was the numerous kids that I've talked to after concerts who have confessed to me the sexual failures that they have experienced as far as becoming involved with someone before they're married and the heartache that brings. And it hit me when I heard the song that if I could just get these little girls to stand up in my concert and tell the others who are under pressure what they've been through as far as heartache because of the pressure that they have succumbed to, then I wouldn't have to say a thing. You know, I could just get up there and introduce them. And the voice of experience in the song is the voice of those who have learned the hard way. And so Rick and I both have songs about that. And Michael Peace, often in the concert, he'll speak about it. We're just finding that it's such a prevalent, common problem amongst teenagers, and it follows them on through life.
And these are Christian and non-Christian alike.
Oh, yeah, both. And, I mean, still, every night, it seems like somebody comes up and says either hey, I'm one of those people, and I appreciate you speaking the words of God's forgiveness to me, or I'll have somebody say, hey, I've saved myself so far, but I'm under pressure every time I go on a date. I'm always pressured. And tonight I made a commitment that doesn't matter what the pressure is, I'm going to remain pure. And, man, for me, that's worth it. That's what it's all about.
All right, we're going to hear the song, and we'll come back with Rick and Morgan, so don't go away.
Save yourself some heartache, save yourself some pain. You gotta pull yourself together before you go too far again. He may tell you that he loves you, you're a little curious, but listen to the voice of experience. You live with what you do, babe. Don't be afraid to tell him no, 'cause if he really, really loves you, he won't ever let you go. The choice is never easy, but love is serious. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the voice of experience. It's not worth the pain to know you lost your innocence. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the ones who learn the hard way. It's just common sense. Love can be beautiful, but love so serious. many hearts have been burned. But if we take the time to listen to the others who have learned, we wouldn't have to suffer through the awful consequence. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the voice of experience. It's not worth the pain to know you lost your innocence. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the ones who learned the hard way. It's just common sense. Love can be beautiful, but love so serious. Listen to the voice of experience. Love can be beautiful, but love so serious. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the voice of experience. It's not worth the pain to know you lost your innocence. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the ones who learned the hard way. It's just common sense. Won't you listen to the voice of experience? It's not worth the pain to know you lost your innocence. Listen to the voice of experience. Listen to the ones who learned the hard way. It's just common sense. Won't you listen to the voice?
Song called The Voice of Experience from Morgan Cryar on FM 93.5, your Christian music connection. Very nice song, very nice song. The Voice of Experience. There are different ways to learn. It would be easier sometimes to learn from somebody else as opposed to having to learn from your own experience. Sometimes that's what it takes. I was told to ask you, Rick, while you were here about the Compassion All-Star Band that you took part in.
Quite a combo. Quite a combo.
Who was involved in that, and how did you get tied into it?
Well, I've been involved with Compassion since '84 as a spokesperson, and there's a group of us who have wanted to do some different musical projects together, and mainly we're guys that work with Compassion. And the Compassion All-Star Band is Phil Keggy, Randy Stonehill, myself, Joe English, Margaret Becker, John Schreiner, and Mike Mead. And it's we've just done a live album. We were at Creation Water Park this year. It was a little damp there actually, but it was great as always.
Is it always a water park or just
No, it's a joke. It's
okay.
There's no water for miles, but I mean we had a rain. I mean it was unbelievable.
Somebody was out building a boat next to you?
I'll tell you, they should have built boats for this one. I mean, we had tents going, floating away, mudslides where two cars just smashed, the tractor smashed into them. It was bad. It was, I'm telling you, it turned into a river, literally in front of the stage. I'm talking 3 feet deep in a matter of 20 minutes. It was something. But anyway, we were at Creation and Atlanta Fest, and we did a live album, which will be released in October. It's called One by One, and the purpose of the album is to just raise the awareness and the needs of the kids, and put this in everyone's mind a little more vividly, that there's kids out there that need help every day, and we've got over 100,000 sponsors right now, and we're still going strong because we don't see the end really isn't in sight, and we've got to keep plowing away.
Now, off the air, we were talking about Christian music stations around the country, and obviously you folks get to walk through many. How does that affect the attendance at your concerts and the kind of response you get from people that come?
I think it affects it tremendously. Morgan and I both agree that when we come into a city with no Christian radio, it's obvious. And when we come into a city like this, where there's a great station, the people know the music, they are well aware of what's going on in the Christian community, and we consider it a real blessing for any area to have a Christian station. It's something that, I mean, I have been in some big cities, and I know Morgan has as well, without Christian radio, and it's hard to believe. But when we see it, we support it wholeheartedly.
It's a no man's land if there's no Christian radio. I mean, where else? Unless a kid happens to be going to a real happening youth group where the youth guy is taking it upon himself to put these tools into the hands of the kids. Otherwise, man, it's like, well, you just don't know. You're up for grabs there.
How did you gentlemen get exposed to Christian music, or music itself? Maybe where did the interest come from for you?
Well, I was in college. I found out about that this kind of music existed in 1978, and then
not all that long ago.
And then in '79 I started writing music, and then '81 I started making a living writing music and singing. And it was a. I remember hearing some of the first Christian music, like the Wall Brothers.
Oh yes.
And Sweet Comfort Band and Larry Norman and I remember, I'll never forget hearing this little beautiful little voice singing a song called Old Man's Rubble, and I said, I don't know who this is, but I got to go get this record. And when I got the record, and there was this funky picture of Amy on the front, you know, but I said I didn't care what she looked like. I just thought the song sounded good.
She was, what, 17 at the time?
Yeah,
16,
well, no,
17?
it was just a bad picture.
Yes, it was.
They ended up actually switching that picture.
Yep.
But yeah, that was all in right about 1978. And the Sail On album by the Imperials. Oh, I remember just being blown away by that, and I said, this is it. I found what I think I might listen to for the rest of my life.
Sounds encouraging. How about for you, Ray?
Well, basically, I came up from a secular music background. My dad's a guitar player, and I've played in bands ever since, junior high school. And in 1980, I ran into an old friend, Joe English, who, we knew each other from the old days. And, he was saved, and I got saved, and we were all excited about it. And he was doing Christian music, and he gave me his album. Went home and listened to it, and, man, I loved it. And I thought, I can't believe that there's an outlet for real hip music in the Christian community. And in 1981, same as Morgan, I made my first Christian record. I was still with a secular band called the Outlaws then, and the record did so well that in 1983 I went to England to record my second record and left the group and left that security to just kind of stretch out and see what the Lord had for me on my own. And it's been, it was a real experience. We had many months of going without, but we knew it was the Lord that we devoted our time 100% to Christian music. And I'm 6 albums down the road now, and it seems like things are going great.
Are there ever any days when you scratch your head a couple of times and say, why am I doing this? Or do you just know this is where you ought to be?
I think we know. I mean, sometimes we scratch our heads and say, how am I going to pay the mortgage? Or we scratch our heads and say, why did that check come back from that lovely brother in Arkansas? Or whatever, But we don't, we don't really scratch our heads and say, why do we do this? I think we know why we do it. It's just that sometimes, when you're dealing with people, and no matter what you do, there are pitfalls along the way. And I think that we're called to, overcome these things. And God gives us the grace. Amen, Morgan?
He's thinking of something over here.
Yeah, I had a guy ask me, I think it was a couple of nights ago, he said, what do you say to people who say that Christian artists are just in it for the money? I couldn't catch my breath for a while because I was laughing so hard. I said, well, I'd love to show them my checkbook.
I know.
That's part of the glamour I was talking about before. Yeah. People do have those ideas. We're going to take a short break here for a couple of commercial messages. We'll be back with Rick and Morgan and music here on FM 93.5, so don't you go away.
Rise up, O Judge of the earth.
Listen to the music.
Cover me with all your glory.
That's Harvest And this is Harvest. Now, Harvest comes to Davenport Thursday, September 21st. Satan has declared war on the young people of our land. The battle is on, and Harvest is on the front line, inviting you to come join the fight. Harvest brings hope and a vision for the 90s to see 100,000 young people raised up for missions. Now, Harvest is coming here. See Harvest in concert Thursday, September 21st, 7 p.m., Capitol Theater, 3rd and Ripley. A $3 door donation and a love offering will be taken. For info, dial 332-7579. Don't miss Harvest, September 21st.
I'm gonna make you hungry. Hungry for nothing less than the best. That's what you'll find at the Waterfront Deli. Soft, fresh breads, a wide variety of tender, mouth-watering meats and cheeses, and tempting tuna and turkey salads. And the list goes on and on. I mean, we're talking homemade hearty soups, tasty salads, croissants, and the very finest of desserts. You just have to taste the goodness at the Waterfront Deli. For lunch or dinner, the Waterfront Deli is the good place to eat. 1020 State Street in Bettendorf.
Looking for the secret of youth? A younger-looking you? Northwest Styling Salon can help. They specialize in complexion care. You can see the difference with a free non-surgical facelift from Northwest Styling Salon. Hair loss is no problem. The professionals in Northwest know what's best for you. You can even get that new look for the fall with a cut or a perm from Northwest Styling Salon. 1431 Washington Street in Davenport. Call today at 324-6217. A younger look is waiting for you at Northwest Styling Salon. 324-6217.
Wheelhorse, Toro, and Snapper. Names you can count on for quality lawn and garden equipment. They're all available at the most competitive prices in the Quad Cities from Rick's Lawn and Garden Equipment, 42nd Avenue by the East Moline Raceway. Rick takes pride in the fact that he services what he sells. Rick's Lawn and Garden knows their product and they know their equipment. For personal service and quality you can depend on, go to Rick's Lawn and Garden Equipment by the Raceway on 42nd Avenue in East Moline.
FM 93.5, your Christian music connection. We're here with Rick and Morgan, Rick Kua, Morgan Cryar, who are in concert tonight at Rock Island High School at 7:30 as part of their rock rhythm and rap tour. And we're having a good time rapping right now, even though Michael Peace isn't with us. Where's Michael? You didn't wake him up this morning.
I would bet he's probably downtown on the streets witnessing to some inner city kids.
I know he's planning on doing that today. He's
Really?
actually going to be down in the
Oh,
rough
yeah.
part of town today.
Oh, he loves
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
what he lives for.
Interesting. You guys do have a varied background in terms of denominations and so on, I would guess. Is that right?
Well, I think originally, yes, but we all go to the same kind of church right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all pretty much, tied into a full gospel church. Michael up in Rochester, New York, and Morgan and I in Nashville.
Okay. Now, as we took our break here, I asked Morgan to select a song for us from his latest release. It's called
yeah.
Dust Man.
Yeah.
Is it about someone that doesn't clean very often, or
Right.
is there more to it?
No,
than that?
actually, the song came from a sermon that our pastor preached, and I wasn't even there, but my wife wrote it down and said, "You got to write a song about this," and I did. And it's called Dust Man.
Okay, now when we talk about you do write a lot of your own songs.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of process is that for you? Do you have a special place in the corner of your house, or?
Well,
you
kind
take
of.
walks
Yeah, there's a
and-
writing room downstairs that, depending on whether I'm on the road or not, looks like something.
Okay.
You know,
We want to ask you to describe it.
we rob things out of it to take on the road, and then I try to piece it back together after the damage is done out on the road. But yeah, I do a lot of writing there, and then of course there's the writing I do when I'm driving.
Looks around to devour any part of man made from the dust. Some say he looks like a lion. Some say an angel of light. He still ain't got no power, and he still hasn't changed his diet. Dust man, dust is all he can eat. I ain't afraid of no dust man. I got him under my feet. Get out of here. Go on.
This is KBQC FM Bettendorf, Iowa, your Christian Music Connection, FM 93.5. We're here with Morgan Cryar and Rick Kua. They're sitting right here. They're actually alive and awake and excited about the concert tonight, which is at Rock Island High School. That's at 7:30, and we hope that you're making plans right now to be there and making plans to bring someone with you. Does that happen a lot? Do you see a lot of people bringing their friends through the door? I mean, can you kind of sense that?
Have them in a sack or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Just bring them.
Seems a little obvious at that point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When they do that?
Mm.
But I mean, that's a good tool. You would encourage people to bring someone that
And
maybe
they do.
isn't familiar with
They
you.
definitely do bring their friends.
Yeah, it's good because to them that's an opportunity to really let somebody, especially somebody that's into this kind of music, get a real great night of the music they love and hear the Word of God. And we do see a lot of decisions made because of somebody praying for somebody and bringing them out to the concert.
Do you gentlemen still run into a lot of criticism for using the musical style that you use?
I know I don't much anymore.
I don't either.
I think with me they know what I'm about and they don't bother with me. They just figure. I mean the people that are
Yes.
against
I know what
rock
you
and
mean.
roll, they're not going to come to a Rick Kua concert in the first place.
Right.
They're going to go
Same
to
with me, yeah.
they'll go to like Imperials or somebody that's more contemporary and get in their face a little.
Mhm.
But with me, I mean I'm out of their realm as far as they're concerned.
You're too far gone.
I am. That's it. I'm too far gone. So they leave me alone. Thank God and thank you very much.
Yes.
But you know what, though? I encourage people to challenge me.
Yeah, me too.
If people come up to either one of us and say, you know what, I got a problem with what you do. Can we talk about it? Man, I love that. I'll sit down with them, and I'll talk to them, and I'll pray with them, and I'll just let them know why I do what I do. And, Lord willing, God moves within that on their hearts. And, there are times when people challenge me on something, and God moves within my heart. And I take a hard look at what it is, whether it be, I can't really think of any specifics, but, we're open. We want to hear from people.
Now, Rick,
Same here, yeah.
do you ever feel when you leave a concert and, first of all, do you spend time with the people that come afterwards, generally? Or?
Oh, yeah. We walk right off of that stage at the end
Right.
of the night, and we're there. We're the last ones out of the building.
Right.
And we're
right.
with the kids as long as they need us.
Yeah, we planned this tour that way.
Okay.
We basically, that was kind of one of the nuggets of the tour, is that we wanted to be accessible, and we wanted to get feedback.
Mm-hmm.
All our nights off that we're in a town where we're going to have a concert, we go visit churches, and we want people in our face so that we can let them know our heart and get some feedback off of the people too. We don't want to lose touch with who our listeners are.
I know people appreciate that kind of accessibility.
Yeah.
I've been to concerts where the artist disappears and you're kind of wondering why.
I know.
At the end.
In defense of some of those artists, and we know, usually when we speak of this, we're speaking of the ones that are drawn thousands and thousands of people. And I have to say, we know most of these people, and they love the Lord, and they're dear folks. It gets to a point where you just can't walk out into that audience anymore. And
That's like at festivals.
Yeah, at festivals,
Yeah, us at festivals, you can't just walk through the crowd. You'd never come out.
Yeah. I mean,
not if there's 3 feet of water in front of the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, I think that I would hope people would, look at artists like that and not get down on them, but just pray that God continues to work through their ministry and understand that, Morgan and I can still do it. At a concert with 500, 1,000 kids, we can still get the band and go out there, and God is using us in that capacity. So, but some other folks, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, we're still able to go to the grocery store too, without
Yeah.
being mobbed, and some people aren't. Like Amy Grant, she can't go to the grocery store even. People camp out at her house. You know, I don't know if I could handle that. Thank God I don't have to handle that
Yep.
right now.
I got a tent there myself.
Yeah. We go over there on weekends.
Right.
Just take turns, right, visiting. Stand out and wave. Interesting. Now, what will people encounter when they come to your concert tonight? What should they expect? What should they be getting excited about?
Loud music.
Okay.
Well, we're Michael comes out and he raps for 20, 30 minutes and.
Does he talk like that when he's ordering at McDonald's or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Very seldom.
I mean, that would really flip somebody out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, really.
Ask him to do that, would you?
He actually does. He actually does some raps and then raps between the raps. See,
And then wraps up his raps?
Yeah. When we those of us who sing, when we talk about what we say between songs, we call it our raps.
Mm-hmm.
And so he does his raps between his raps, and then he wraps it up at the end there.
Yeah, right.
But
Quite a gift.
And then I come out on stage with the band, and I do about 50 minutes, and then there's a little intermission, and then Rick comes out, and he does about 50 minutes. Then we have an invitation.
Mm-hmm. You do that at every concert?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're all involved in the invitation.
definitely. We all
I'll
do that.
start it off just coming out of my set, but then Morgan and Michael join me, and we're all hands-on with these kids at the point of ministry. And
Yeah.
once again, like Morgan was saying, that's the whole idea of this tour. It's not just to go out and promote our new records. It's to get out there and let people know that, you know, we have a burden for their communities and, and for their kids, and we want to be involved. We want to be there for them. We want to let them know that, you know, if you want to talk about something, we're there for you. We want to go into the local churches. As Morgan said, we do that every Wednesday and Sunday night. Those are off nights for the band, but Morgan and I and Michael, we are in churches every Wednesday and Sunday.
That's a great way to get a feel for the community, too.
Yeah, I think so. And we love it. We are blessed so much. I was just sitting in TCBY last night with my host after the church service, just thinking what a joy it is to get to meet people on this kind of a basis, you know, twice a week.
Sounds great. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Vicki Scott. This is her time slot, and I realize I'm impinging on her time. She's been most gracious. But
She's going to get you for that, Steve.
She will, yeah. Probably tomorrow morning she'll penny the door shut or something. I won't be able to get out. It's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock on FM 93.5. And, Vicki, I know you've probably been dying to ask a couple questions. I'd like to give you the opportunity to do that. Here's the headphones.
All right.
She does that so well. Doesn't she?
Well, actually, we're going to give him a break.
All
And we're
right.
going to hear from Rick Kua, I Can, and I Will. Is that it, George? All right, here we go. FM 93.5, and we've got Rick Kua, I Can and I Will. Morgan Cryar, Rick Kua here with us this morning. And you guys, what's the next step for you? What do you see after this tour wrapping up in 7 weeks?
Right. Well, we'll go home. We'll do some, both Rick and I, and Michael for that matter, go by ourselves and do concerts, solo concerts. We don't know for sure whether we're going to bring this tour out again, either in the spring or maybe in the summer to the festivals, or maybe even overseas or to other planets, whatever we're invited. We don't know for sure, but we are praying about that and considering that now.
What week are you in right now of your tour?
Week 1.
Week
I'm
1?
sorry, we just started week 2.
Did
That's
you?
Hallelujah.
Today is the first one, week
All
2.
right.
Praise the Lord. My wife is home right now just saying, ooh, something sounded good.
So what do you think about the first week so far? I mean, how do you feel about it?
Great, just great. A lot of these people on the road with us, either they're brand new for Rick or they're brand new for me. Like, we kind of brought some people from our own past experience and introduced them, and we've all been thrown on this bus, and you just never know what you're going to get. You don't know how personalities are going to mix, and man, it's just been great.
Yeah.
Everybody is just displaying the character of Jesus to one another, and it's like being on the road with 13 pastors or something. It's pretty nice.
Now, I'm not sure, I didn't hear the first part of your interview this morning, but did you, how long have you guys known one another? How long have you been working together?
Well, I'm trying to remember the first time. I think the first time we met was
I
the
gave you a
night
ride
that's right.
to a hotel
I was
room.
hitchhiking.
I thought you were hitchhiking
No,
too, but you
no,
weren't.
yeah.
Was it after a GMA function?
No,
or
it
something?
was after that the compassion thing. The
the
first do
benefit?
something now.
Oh, after the cause,
right.
We
The
all
cause,
went and
that's it,
sang on
that's
that, and Morgan needed a ride home.
Yeah.
And he was staying with some people over in the neighborhood of
No,
where I
no,
lived.
it was my apartment, I think.
You lived in Nashville then?
Yeah.
How long did you live in Nashville for?
Maybe I was.
Excuse us, folks.
Maybe I wasn't.
But
Well, I
in
don't remember
any
either.
event,
That's the night of the cause when we recorded that. That's when I met Rick Kua,
Yeah.
and we ran into each other on the road a couple times doing festivals together, and then we ran into each other again in Nashville. When I moved into Nashville, like I told Steve a while ago, I happened to move into the apartment right across the hall from him, and that's
6
when we
feet
really-
away.
Yeah,
It was,
Wow.
and that was good. That was 4 months, and I'll tell you what, we had such a good time together that we would not close our apartment doors. In other words, if you looked out my door and opened his door, we could see each other's apartments, and we just had such a good time of fellowship that we didn't want to shut the door. So for
Wow.
hours at a time, we'd leave the doors open. The kids would be running back and forth, and the girls would have their coffee visiting, and it was a great time. Matter of fact, when you got your house, we were pretty bummed
I was
out.
depressed, yeah. That was a mixed blessing.
Yeah, yeah. But it was good. We've remained just close friends. Our families as well, and we go to the same church, and it's good like that. And I'll tell you something. If I hadn't have known Morgan at all, coming out on this tour, we would have become fast friends, even without that prior
Yeah,
history.
All right, so you've got 6 weeks, including this week, of your tour left.
Yeah.
And then you said that you do festivals and youth groups and things like that during the year, right?
Yeah,
we
we
do.
do solo concerts.
All kinds of
Okay.
stuff. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to be home for a day and a half at the end of this tour, and then I go to Anchorage for 3 days. So we keep real busy with solo dates. But this tour is the condensed 7-week, let's go out and do as much as we can in a 7-week period, and then get back to our regular routines.
Great. Do you guys have anything else that you want to say this morning?
Come on out and see us tonight. That's
Please
what
do.
I say. Yeah, we'd love to see you.
Yeah.
All right, you can see all three of them, Morgan Cryar, Rick Kua, and Michael Peace, this evening at 7:30 at Rocky High School Auditorium. If you don't have your tickets yet, you can get those at the Christian bookstores. So make your way out tonight to Rocky High School and see those guys. Here's one from Morgan Cryar, wrapping it up this morning with I'm Still Dangerous.
Pull my teeth, so I won't bite. You can tie my hands, but I'll still fight. You can 'cause the things I speak, well, they're not my words. Call the dogs the very hounds of hell. You can spew your lies, and I know you will. You better check the locks on the prison doors, and you might want to hide your key. 'Cause I'm coming in with the truth of God. We're gonna set those prisoners free. Yeah, I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. As long as my blood runs, the blood of God's own son, I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. As long as I'm still healing, I know that I can stand. As long as I have the heart of a child, I'll still be a mighty man. As long as I still breathe, as long as the spirit beats, I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. As long as my blood runs with the blood of God's own son, I'm still dangerous. 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 Dangerous. Look out now. I'm still dangerous. 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 Say he's still dangerous. He's still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. I'm still dangerous. Say he's still dangerous. He's still dangerous. Better watch out. I'm still dangerous.
He's on the 20, the 10. It's a Shogun touchdown.
Shogun?
Sure, haven't you heard? First, you enter Shogun's birthday club. Then, for every touchdown the Bears score, a card's drawn for a complimentary dinner to Shogun. So the weekly winners qualify for a grand prize of 4 tickets and a limousine ride to and from the Packer-Bear game December 17th. Hey, where are you going?
Throw me a bomb for a Shogun touchdown.
Score big with Shogun Steakhouse, Davenport. No purchase necessary.
If you have a need for commercial or industrial printing, you'll want to remember the name Stacy Printing Company. Stacy Printing has the capabilities to do 6-color letterhead and business cards, as well as 2-color format projects. Carbonless sets and scored die cuts are available as well. At Stacy Printing Company, your purchasing agent won't need to come by because a full-time printing consultant is available to call on your business. Whatever your business needs, from resumes to 2-color booklets, call Stacy Printing Company at 322-1705. Located at 1051 South Ross Street in Davenport, the number again is 322-1705.
Hey, Shutterbugs, Main Camera Store in Rock Island wants to let you know there's only a few tickets left for the Cubs-Mets game on September 18th. Available only with the purchase of your new Canon SureShot Ace with wireless remote controller. On sale for just $159.95. Or the Ace with quartz date back for $179.95. Remember, you ought to be in pictures, so why not make it in Wrigley Field with your new Canon SureShot Ace? Call Main Camera for details, 788-1783.
It's been described by the Quad City Times as a mecca for antique lovers. It's Antique America, 121 individual dealers with the most unique furniture and gifts in the Quad Cities. Delight the bride with keepsakes and collectibles. Make the birthday wish come true with antique clocks and jewelry. Celebrate the anniversary with rich, finely crafted furniture from the 18th century. Antique America at the Scott County Industrial Park just west of the Steeplegate Inn in Davenport. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays till 9.
Christian Radio 93.5.
Good morning, 21 after 9 o'clock, and our Quad City forecast for today. We're looking for plenty of sunshine and some warm temps for us, expecting a high near 80. And tonight, fair with a low in the upper 50s. And looking ahead into Tuesday, sunny and warm again and a high in the lower 80s. In the Quad Cities, currently we're at 68 degrees. Here's the Allies.
You saw me crying in the chapel. The tears I shed were tears of Just a plain and simple chapel where humble people go to pray. I pray the Lord that I'll grow stronger as I live from day to day. I've searched and I've searched, but I couldn't find no way on earth to gain peace of mind. Now I'm happy in the chapel where people are of one accord. Yes, we gather in the chapel just to sing and praise the Lord. Oh, you'll search and you'll search, but you'll never find no way on earth to gain peace of mind. Take your troubles to the chapel. Get down on your knees and pray. Then your burdens will be lighter, and you'll surely find the way. Take your troubles to the chapel. Get down on your knees and pray. Then your burdens will be lighter, and you'll surely find the way. Everybody knows it. There's danger all around. Politicians talk of peace, but tell me, when will it be found? Like in the days of Noah, when the flood began to rise, everyone forgot the Lord and did what's right in their